say? Well, not by a long shot. Dr. Russell Siverly, professor of physiology and health science here at Ball State University, is conducting extensive research in the field of mosquitoes. With the aid of a grant from the Indiana State Board of Health, Dr. Siverly will begin a field study project for 3 months beginning in March. Dr. Siverly indicates that with this state grant and through his total research, he hopes to bring to a reasonable conclusion the list of species in Indiana, and in so doing, establish a mosquito consciousness.
Well, first of all, it's very practical. It's practical because this problem can't be managed by just a handful of experts. It's going to require the support of all the citizens of Indiana. If people are mosquito conscious, they're as conscious of this unfavorable situation in their environment as they are of water pollution or air pollution or thermal pollution in their streams.
As I understand it, mosquitoes are not only a health problem, but a recreational and economic problem as well.
That's right. They're a health problem because they carry disease. In fact, some of the most devastating diseases of mankind have been carried by mosquitoes. Yellow fever and malaria, for example. Here in this state, we're more concerned about encephalitis. We had an outbreak of encephalitis in Evansville in 1964 and one in Fort Branch in 1957. And currently there are spot cases of a new kind of encephalitis, at least new to us, called California encephalitis in the state. So they're important from that aspect of health. They're important from the aspect that health being the state of well-being, it is interfered with when one is pestered with mosquitoes. They're important from the standpoint of health. They're important from the standpoint of economics. Farmers know that their dairy cattle don't yield milk if they're pestered by mosquitoes, just as their hogs don't put on weight. They're important. Mosquitoes are important because they interfere with the use of recreational areas. Kosciuszko County, LaGrange County, Steuben County are areas where people like to go to fish, for example. And these beautiful lakes and streams are not being fully utilized because mosquitoes interfere with their full recreational potential.
Familiar to Indiana residents are areas such as these. On first inspection, they appear rather innocent, but take a closer look. It's in these areas that mosquitoes are produced by the millions. Breeding areas such as might be found in your own backyard are causing public health officials to throw up their arms in disgust as they try to curb the problem that these biting pests create.
Mentioned the state of mosquito consciousness. This means in people's minds that they are important. People are going to accept that they're important. I think one more attitude is important, and that is not to be resigned that nothing can be done. Something can be done in Indiana just as something is being done in Illinois, in Ohio, in Michigan, and many other states. So, there might be a couple of attitudes. There also are a couple of actions. One action would be to become informed. And the young mosquito that was shown a few minutes ago is a very important thing for people to realize and recognize. To realize that it's an immature mosquito and it's a young mosquito just as children are young human beings. Another very important point in which to be informed is the fact that these immature stages do require water for their development. And so the individual householder can be more important in community control than he realizes if some way he can alter that water environment by getting rid of it or flooding it or putting in predators that will eat up the young larvae before they have a chance to achieve maturity and be on the wing and bite people.
Dr. Siverly indicates that each mosquito brings to science a different problem. Spraying as a form of control satisfies the public, but has very limited use. What he suggests is the establishment of abatement or control districts so as to attack each mosquito with an individual experiment method. It is true that Indiana is realizing a problem, or Dr. Siverly wouldn't have his grant, but it's only a beginning. We must carry it much, much further. For who knows, with a very dedicated effort, science may one day record the rise and fall of the mosquito. This is Al Rent at Ball State University, Muncie, Indiana.